Kevin, why is it take so long to find the things I always use? Every time I needed something important, it always somewhere at the bottom. I keep wasting time for looking for it. Earlier, I needed my phone. I use it almost every day, but I didn't find it easily. What's confusing is that it keeps this happening. The things I use the most are the ones that find it hardest to access, while the things that I rarely use is the easiest to access. I'm still confused.
That's actually a common problem. Important things should be done easy to get with, but they are not. It feels like there is no system that adjusts based on the usage.
In computer science, there is a data structure designed to solve exactly that problem. It's called splay tree. A splay tree is a type of binary search tree that adjusts itself every time you use it. Whenever you access the element, whether you search for it, insert it, or delete it, the tree moves that element closer to the top.
Hey, the idea is simple.
If an element is used frequently, the tree should make it easier to access.
So the tree kind of learns your habit.
Yes, it reorganizes itself based on access. To understand it better, let's visualize it. But first, can I use it to represent the data?
Suppose we want to access the node M. We need to bring it to the root or splay it for easy access. That's how splay tree operation works.
The split tree rotations using the binary search tree operations, insertion, deletion, and searching. Before anything else, remember that a split tree is still a binary search tree. This means all operations, insert, search, and delete, follow the normal BST rules first. There are three main rotations we use during splaying: zig, zig-zig, and zigzag rotations. Zig rotation. A zig rotation happens when the access node is the child of the root. Since it's only one step away, the tree performs one single rotation, left or right, to bring that node to the root.
So here is the example of zig rotation. We begin with an empty tree and perform a sequence of insert operations. Each time you insert a value using normal BST rules, the newly inserted node is then splayed to the root. So we insert number 10 into the empty tree and 10 becomes the root. Then insert another number. So we will insert number 5. In inserting, we should follow the normal BST rules as well as deleting and searching. Since 5 is the child of the root, we perform a zig rotation to move it to the top. So that is the example of zig rotation. The access node is the child of the root.
Zig-zig rotation. A zig-zig rotation occurs when the node and its parent are on the same side, both left or both right. Because they perform a straight chain, the tree performs two rotations in the same directions.
The example of zig-zig rotation. Since we already have a tree, we will perform the deletion operation. Since the node and its parents are on the same side, it will perform the zig-zig rotation and performs two rotations. I will delete the number 2. First is we will look for number 2. Once the target is found, it will perform a series of rotations to make it to the top. The first rotation is zig-zig and second is zig because we should follow the BST rules in which the left side of the tree is less than to the root and the right side is greater than the root.
A zigzag rotation occurs when the node and its parents are the opposite sides, a left-right or right-left pattern. This creates a zigzag shape, so the tree performs two rotations in opposite directions.
The example of zigzag rotation. So now we will perform the search operation. We'll just find the node and that node is played to the root. The rotation it will perform is zigzag. We will search for number 5. Once the number 5 is found, it will perform a zigzag rotation, where the node and its parents are on the opposite side. Just like in zigzag rotation, it will not only perform one rotations, but many rotations to make it to the root.
Now that we know what splaying is and why we move nodes to the root, let's talk about how it affects performance. Splay trees have different time complexities depending on the situation. Let's start with the best case. The best case happens when the element is already at the root. No rotations needed, that's O of one time. For the average case or amortized time, operations take about O of log n because frequently access holds nodes stays near the top. The worst case is when the tree becomes very unbalanced like a chain. Access can take O of n, but after splaying, structure improves for future operations. This applies to all main operations: search, insert, delete.
Now we have the search or the Boolean search. It means bring key to root if exists. Also, we have the Boolean as empty. It means check the tree is empty. Now we have the count nodes. It means counting the nodes. Also, we have the public void clear. It means all the nodes will be clear in the tree. Now we have the traversal. First is an order traversal. It means start to the left, root right. It means visit first to the left, next to the root, and last to the right subtree. The next is the pre-order traversal. The root left right. It means visit first to the root, next to the left, last to the right subtree. Next is the post-order traversal. The left right root. First visit to the left, next to the right, and last to the root. Here, the displaying all traversal. It means it may display the three traversal, the in-order traversal, pre-order traversal, and post-order traversal. Now we have the main program. Here you can input the insertion, the remove, the search, and count nodes, and checking the tree is empty, and clear tree is empty. First, you insert I will explain this Java program that implements a splay tree. A splay tree is a self-adjusting binary search tree or the BST where recently accessed elements are moved to the root using rotation, the zigzag operation. Now we have the class node or the node structure that have int k, which is the value stored in the node, and the node left, node right. It means it is the left child and the right child. Next, we have the private node root. It means it is the root of the splay tree. Next, the right rotation or the zig. We have the node y is equals to x dot left means the y becomes new root of subtree. Next is the x dot left is equals to y dot right. It means the x y's right subtree as its left. Next, we have the y dot right is equals to x. It means the x become the right child of y. Then return the new root. Same to the left rotation, which is the left rotate node x. Here we have the node y is equals to x. That right. Y becomes new root of subtree. And now we have here the x dot right is equals to y dot left. It means the x takes y left subtree as its right. And the right rotation, the x, y, right sub 3, it's left. At here, the x takes y left sub 3 as its right. And y that left is equals to x. It becomes the x, the left child of y. And then return to new root. So now we have display rotation. So it here in the code, it means there is an empty or a key is already root. Next, we have the if statement that have the key is less than root. That key, it means the key is in the left sub tree. And then return to the root. And we have the left to left case or the zig-zig. And then we have the left to right case, the zigzag. Then final rotation, return the root that left is equals to null. So that's it. So else the key is in right sub tree and return to root. It means the key is not in tree. Same as the right left case or the zigzag. We have here the right case zigzag, and the final rotation is right child exists. Next we have the insertion. The insertion have the if statement that the root is equals to null. So root is equals to new node key. It means the empty tree new node becomes root. Next have the root is equals to display root, then key. It means display tree with the key. And if root that key is equals to key, it returns and the key is already exists. Have condition if key is less than root, that key, it means the new node that right is equals to root. It means it becomes a right child. And new node that left is equals to root that left. It means the left sub tree becomes the new nodes to the left. Else, reverse, new node that left is equals to root. It means the root becomes the left child. And new node that right is equals to the root of right. It means the right subtree becomes new node to the right. So we have the root new node. It means it is the new node is now the root. So in a removal, we have the root is equals to display root. Then the key, it means the move. It moves to the key root if exists. It removes. Then have condition if root that key is not equal to the key, it returns. It means the key or the value has not found. And only the right subtree exists will be removed. Then we have the root is equal to display root that left and the key. It means the max of left subtree becomes root or attach all right subtree.
We analyze how an LRU cache behaves when it's implemented using SPLAY3, focusing on access time and overall memory use. So the results shown in the SPLAY3 helps surface recently accessed item faster since frequently used and tries to automatically move closer to the root after each operation. And because the structure reorganizes itself based on the access pattern, the least recently used item naturally drip deeper and the tree, making them easier to remove once the cache reach capacity. So by this approach also keeps memory usage efficient as the tree doesn't store extra balancing information, only case values and link needed for splaying. In practice, a SPLAY3-based LRU cache works well in a situation where access pattern repeat or follow the burst, so allowing the most active data to stay near the top for a quick retrieval.
Oh, so the system fixed the same problem I had earlier. Now the item we use most is the easiest access.
And next time we need it, you won't have to search it again.